This is the Louie T Network.
Man, I love some football. Man, I love some football. My favorite week is week 1, cause I'm watching football. First comes the preseason, and I don't take a day off. And then it gets even better when your team makes the playoffs. 32 teams go hard for one thing. They work for one thing. That Super Bowl ring. 32 teams go hard for one thing. They work for one thing. That Super Bowl ring. We in the lab room.
Your man, Louie T, welcome. You are in the lab room. Of course, I am your host, Lou. Thank you for joining me. Week number 9 in the National Football League. Denver Broncos on the road, traveling to Foxborough to take on the New England Patriots. But forget about Patriots and Broncos. Who wants to talk about that? We want to talk about Brady Manning's Sweet 16. That's what we want to talk about. But really, when it's all said and done, it's Denver at New England. And sometimes we lose sight of that because we talk Brady, we talk Manning, and the head-to-head matchups and the rivalries and the wars these two have been in with each other over the years. But at the end of the day, these teams are going to win these games against each other, not these individual players. And so the weather had an impact, as it usually does in Foxborough. And Peyton Manning has had historically struggled in Foxborough because of these issues. And I thought the Denver Broncos came out in this game very skittish. I thought they actually came out very soft. I thought they were scared and they were timid. We'll get to that in a second, but keep in mind, this is the In the Lab Room game of the week. And so, I thought that they came out passive. 4 of the first 6 plays were runs. When does the Denver Broncos ever come out and say, we're going to establish the run today? You got Peyton Manning, you got Demaryius Thomas, you got Juice, you got Wes Welker, you got Emmanuel Sanders. Who cares if you got to run the football and establish it? Forget about all that. Peyton usually comes out and lets it rip to start. I've seen games where the Broncos' first 9 plays were all passes. What run? What is this run you speak of? Yet, you get a little bit of wind and all of a sudden you're in New England and you want to run the football? The first possession, they might as well not even have a first possession. It was 2 runs and then a measly check down and they had to punt. What is that? When did the Broncos do? I just thought they came out passive early in this game. Then a fair catch interference on Denver sets up a field goal for New England. So we know about, and they kept talking about it during this game, about the last time these two teams met in the regular season last year, where special teams had a huge impact on the outcome of the game. And here's an early instance where neither one of the 2 teams are really doing anything, and then Denver has a mistake on a fair catch by the Patriots. Denver Broncos special teams member Gunner, it bumps into Danny Amendola as he's trying to field the punt, or Julian Edelman, one of those guys trying to field the punt. They actually muff it, and it's fumbled, and they call fair catch interference. Huge penalty because, you know, that's a 15-yarder. And so that puts them right in that wheelhouse where they're getting close to field goal range. They get a first down or 2, able to tackle on field goals, 3-0 New England early in this game. Peyton goes 5 of 7, and this is more along the lines of what I was expecting when the game started. Don't look, and it's still the first quarter, so you're still dealing with the wind. Who cares? Come out and be aggressive. Don't give me this, I need to run the football because it's windy crap. Be aggressive. And I remember the last year, Noshawn ran for over 2 bills on these boys. So, yeah, you ran the ball enough. That was last year. That's not this year. It's a different season. Throw the football. You got a much better wide receiving core this year. Throw the football. And so Peyton Manning, 5 of 7, 67 yards as Broncos take the bubble wrap off of Peyton Manning, and Browner with a passing interference on 3rd down leads to a Ronnie Hillman 1-yard touchdown. It's 7-3 Denver early in this game. That's more like it. That's what I was expecting when this game started. Not this all, oh, let's run the football and see if we can't establish a run because it's windy outside. Get rid of that nonsense and do what the Denver Broncos have done to start this season 6-1. So Gronk starting to warm up, and that's the one thing you don't want, man. This dude, a bad news. That's a bad move. If Gronk gets heated up, and he was starting to heat up in this game. 3 grabs on this particular possession. Brandon LaFell can't hold on in the end zone. It would have been a tough catch. It's not like this was an easy catch right through his hand. This was a toughie, but you got it. You should be able to hold on to it. If you got it, then you got it. But he didn't have it, so he didn't get it. So it ends up being a field goal for the Patriots. It's 7-6. Denver still clinging to a 1-point lead. That's the end of the first quarter, and the wind was a huge factor in this game. So, you know, when you start talking about ending quarters, then the philosophy changes, and you got to be mindful of the wind in terms of field goals and punts and kickoffs and those things. So, you know, that was a huge factor in this game, was the wind. But again, if you're Peyton Manning and Tom Brady, win, let me fling the football around and make some things happen. Manning throws an interception to Rob Ninkovich. It always seems like Peyton Manning struggles against the Patriots for some reason. I can't explain it. I don't know if he puts undue pressure on himself. Whatever the case, throws and this was a bad one. I mean, they showed kind of like a diagram of the play and how they had success with it. Maybe 2 possessions earlier when they got the touchdown, and they ran the same exact route concept, and the Patriots ran a similar zone, but this time Rob Ninkovich kind of did a better job of disguising where he was. Peyton didn't see him, jumps in front of the pass, picks it off. And I really thought that was a game-changing play, because at that point, even though the Patriots weren't doing anything in terms of getting in the end zone, I thought that the Denver Broncos were fine. They hadn't lit the scoreboard up, and they weren't being ultra-aggressive, but I thought they were still within that range where you're like, okay, if we make a play or 2 here, maybe we can keep ourselves ahead of the game and not allow the Patriots to get out in front of us and run away with this one. But this interception gave the Patriots all the ammunition they needed to kind of run away, get all the confidence, get the crowd involved, and really start piling on top of this Denver Broncos team. And so Ninkovich, his pick leads to a 13-yard gain for Rob Gronkowski and a subsequent Julian Edelman 5-yard touchdown grab. It's now 13-7, Patriots out on top. What starts as a near disaster turns into a full-blown disaster as the Denver Broncos go to punt the football. Their punter actually drops the football. It's clean snap, and everything is the actual punt. The punter actually catches it, goes to kick it, and he drops it. So he picks it up. Luckily enough, it's not blocked. It's almost blocked, but he gets it off. But one disaster avoided opens the door for another one to not be averted. And this time, Julian Edelman catches it, darts in and out of traffic, gets a full head of steam, able to cut it back. 84-yard return for Julian Edelman. And just like that, I talked about special teams always seeming to have an impact on this game. We talked about it, how it impacted this game the last time these 2 teams matched up. Now it's 20-7, and now you see why that interception was so huge, because now the momentum is on the side of the Patriots. Uncle Mo on the side of the Patriots, bag of chips. He's got a huge 24-ounce big gulp. I mean, he's cooling out over here with the Patriots, and he has no intentions. They went and got him some pillows. They went and fluffed him up. He has no intentions of leaving their sidelines. And so the Denver Broncos are in trouble right now. Despite great improvisation by Manning to find Emmanuel Sanders, Denver can't get in the end zone. And it was funny because right before the kick, Jim Nantz put the kibosh on McManus. He said, hey, the one weak spot, the one question mark this Broncos team has is their kicker, Brandon McManus. And as fate would have it, after that statement was made, kibosh smashed and stamped on McManus. Of course he misses the field goal. It hits the upright, clank, comes off. And I already told you, normally when you hit the uprights on a field goal and you miss, that's pretty much a bad omen as to what's to come for you moving forward in the game. If you hit the upright and it kicks in, maybe you got a chance today. Maybe Uncle Mo and the football gods are going to be smiling down upon you today. But if you hit that upright and that ball clanks outside, I don't know if today's going to be your day. And that's what happened here on this kick. And so Broncos rolled the dice on 4th and 6 from the New England 34. Manning is sacked by Akeem Ayers, turnover on downs. And so it just was that type of day for Denver. They couldn't get into an offensive rhythm. On 2nd and 20, after Brady was flagged for intentional grounding, Brady finds Julian Edelman for 27, then Shane Vereen for 11. It sets up a 4-yard Shane Vereen touchdown. It's 27-7 at the halftime break. And it didn't get much better for the Denver Broncos after halftime. Bradley Roby picks off Brady, and it caroms off the hands of Danny Amendola, and Bradley Roby is the recipient of that. They're able to get in the end zone on an 18-yard juice touchdown. Maybe they're able to come back. Nope, not today. Pats get a field goal, and then Wes Welker is smashed as the ball caroms off his fingertips and into the waiting arms of Brandon Browner, who picks it off. And then the very next play, Brandon LaFell finds the end zone. It's 37-14. I stopped taking notes at this point, and it ended up being 43-21. Broncos are smashed in this game, and I'd be lying to you if I told you I didn't see this one coming. Did I think this game was going to get out of control like this? Maybe, maybe not. I thought that the Broncos would be more competitive. I expected them to lose this game. I expected them to possibly lose this game by double digits, but I thought that would happen at the very end. This game, from about the midpoint of the second quarter all the way until the end, wasn't very competitive. I mean, you never got the sense that Denver was going to threaten the New England Patriots in this game and win, but you always had that inkling in the back of your mind that maybe the Denver Broncos could get hot, put up, 14 straight and make this a ball game. I wanted to turn away from the television set, but I couldn't because Peyton Manning was on the other sideline, but at some point, I realized, and it probably happened about the midpoint of the fourth quarter, I realized this isn't their day. It just isn't happening today, and Brady and company are going to walk away with this one, as we've seen to be the case. Again, I don't understand why these games in the regular season always happen in Foxborough. It just does. I can't tell you the last time Peyton Manning played Tom Brady and the Patriots in his home stadium in the regular season. You probably got to go back to Indy for that. Because ever since he's been a member of the Denver Broncos, these matchups have taken place in Foxborough. And even when he was a Colt, they used to play a lot of their regular season matchups in Foxborough. Whatever the case may be, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, you got to get it done. They didn't. Patriots did. They dominate this football game in all three facets, especially special teams and defense. They get it done offensively as well, and they win the football game 43-20. A lot of people want to say that this game is going to determine who has home field advantage and who will be hosting that AFC Championship game. I say, hey, don't jump to any conclusions. The New England Patriots, I know early in the season it's different than right now, but they still got to play Buffalo again, and that's a tough Buffalo Bills defense. It's in Foxborough, so I expect them to get that one, but they still got to play the Dolphins too, and the Dolphins aren't afraid of them, even though that's going to be in Foxborough as well. Don't count these teams out in their division. And, of course, Denver still has a tough AFC West slate as well. So all I'm saying is this game, while it could have some ramifications down the line, I still want to see the rest of the season play out before I put that much weight into this game. But just know that if this is any indication of what we'll get if this game ends up being an AFC Championship game in Foxborough, I don't like the chances of the Denver Broncos. I just don't. And that's going to do it for the Denver Broncos and the New England Patriots. Patriots win the game, improve to 7-2 on the season. Meanwhile, the Denver Broncos, they take one on the chin. They're now 6-2 on the season. And the Patriots are playing some outstanding football right now. They've got it clicking on all cylinders. And they right now, they're playing the best football of any team in the AFC. And we couldn't have said that literally a month ago. I mean, hell, a month and a half ago, I think some people might have been proclaiming these guys dead in the water. Now, all of a sudden, we're talking about this is the best team possibly in the AFC right now. So, big win for them at home versus the Denver Broncos. That's going to do it for Broncos and Patriots. I thank you for joining me. If it happens in the National Football League, whether big or small. We cover it all here in the lab room. I'd love to tell you that this was worthy of the game of the week, but it wasn't. But hey, you never know how these things are going to turn out before they're actually played out on the field. So I will see you later, as I've got plenty more games to break down in week number 9 in the National Football League.